talking about voluntary intoxication being used as an offense because the person chose to drink, and they're talking about the Oklahoma, the college in Oklahoma, in Stillwater, where the woman ran her vehicle into the crowd, and some of them may be dead or dying, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's the point I want to make. Mind control was probably used in this. I would say it was. But mind control that I've been speaking of, Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bombing, the Virginia Tech shootings, all those shootings have been done by an agency from programming. And people do not choose to be programmed. And mind control used on them. That's done without their knowledge. It's involuntary. And, I wonder why I'm still putting this up and using my time and money, because actually people just want me to shut up the messenger. Like, if I just disappear, this will all go away. I promise you it won't. You might not know about it or know that some of it can be proven, and it can. Timothy McVeigh tried to tell you that the military stuck a chip up him. I started writing about, I knew about mind control before I started doing a book. And mind control has all kinds of outreaches. You can do anything with it. Make a pilot run into the side of the mountain, the ocean, veer into Russian airspace like the plane that Congressman Dr. Larry McDonald, and he's a bad guy. I was writing about him. You should see what they did to me. That's back in April Fool's Day of 80. With a letter from the FBI, U.S. Attorney on me and everything, what they did to me, I should have died. I was carried across the state line and passed a background check. I can't put it all on here, and I won't. But I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in 1980. And that's when John Lennon was shot by Mark David Chapman and killed. So you get into certain murders were done in patterns and can be proven. You can program a guy, a man or a woman, anyone to kill, or if it's a man, rape a woman, like Matthews. Can't think of his first. Jesse Matthews, and he's been on trial for rape, and he's got 2 murders he's accused of. And by the way, everybody knows about the mind control and all of it. And I guess that's about all I was going to say, because I just put videos up again. I put all this on here in Facebook, and I had mentioned on the last 2 videos, I didn't try to bring up photos or anything or background information. I've already put it up on so many. I will go ahead and say this. The Fort Hood shooter was a psychiatrist, and he got his degree, went somewhere else to get his medical degree, but he finished school here next door at Virginia Tech. So anyway, I wanted to put that up because I was listening to CNN. Believe me, they've all known all of this. And for me to try to put it up, I kept pinning this. Maybe someone should know or care about what's being done to me. Major run, I get an apartment if I'm lucky, and anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. They're talking about that in Oklahoma, about arresting the woman, and supposedly she was drunk, and so she can't use involuntary manslaughter, I don't believe, because they say she chose to drink. Well, mind control and programming you can be programmed. You're a puppet, and you can be programmed to drive your car, drink and drive your car, and that's going to show up on a talk screen. Where mind control does not show up. It's invisible. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's certainly not something people choose. They don't even know they're getting it. And you talk about liberty and justice. when you take away your freedom to use your mind and make your own decisions, you've lost it all. And right now, for a long time, you can Google mind control, and most of them have really nice videos and all that, where I'm not able to afford it, or and the way I'm living is so horrible and hard, I can't go out and buy the proper equipment to put it up. So I'm going to leave it at that. The James Holmes, the Aurora, Colorado, the Sandy Hook, and what people say, because they know you tell them the truth, but they just don't want to believe it or deal with it, because there's no shield against it. If you knew you were being programmed and you went to a doctor, especially a psychiatrist, you'd be handcuffed and given drugs just like James Holmes or some of them. James Holmes was not crazy. It had nothing. Mental illness is getting the rap for this when it's mind controlling programming, and one has nothing to do with the other. So why haven't doctors spoken out? Same reason that they aren't telling about cures for cancer. You can use mind control, the belief in magnetic healing, and I can't tell you all the ins and outs, but it goes back to the Tesla files that were stolen in the early 30s. So you can cure all diseases. What they're doing is you're going out and creating all this money for research on cancer, etc., when there's been a cure all along. But go into the hospital and look at all if you could do an inventory, the mammograms and everything that goes into crutches, lung machines, all kinds of stuff. I did inventory for a hospital back in Atlanta, and how ironic it's been turned into a cancer research of all things. And they knew I was doing the book, by the way. But I did inventory, and even back then, you should see all the money that went into accounts payable for the doctors. Look at the careers. They don't want you to know the truth. But somewhere along the line, if people really care, they can tell and put it into court, because you leave out mind control. It's a weapon, just like a knife or a gun is. Only they make a puppet out of people, and the wrong person pays for the crime. What if your son was on death row? What if he was Timothy McVeigh or some of the others I speak of? A lot of them are programmed to turn around and kill themselves, so that you can shut the door on that one without entering into evidence, mind control and programming.